course, we've drawn closer to the day itself, and really, I kind of wanted to go on. This is basically like the press conference, and Sonic and Hubby both said what you said about the press conference. So now we have to go on the actual day itself. So the day of RW Mania, what like I guess give like a full in-depth detail of what you felt was going on.
Well,
Go.
Okay, so I was out swimming in the morning. When I first woke up, only thing on my mind was RW Mania. It was crazy. Like, I never felt that feeling before. Like, the Mania was so important to me. Like, it was crazy. Like, my stomach was turning. Like, it was. I went swimming that morning, and I went swimming that whole summer. I was just doing that good workout. But when I came home from swimming, all my mind, I was listening to my theme song. I was getting right. Like, I was pumped for that pay-per-view. And that added to my anger when I got robbed, when he was, like, stalling the pay-per-view. But I was going home. I went home, I hopped on Peter, and I saw that RW Mania was about 100 out of 100. It was filling up pretty damn fast. And I had to, like, jump. I had to jump to get in the server. And when I got there, it was a nice environment. It was pretty good. I mean, it was a lot of people there. It was definitely a lot of people. But what I didn't like was how Recuro, or whatever that weeaboo's name was. I don't know.
Ricurio.
Yeah, that little weeaboo. He wasn't even there. I don't think he even cared about Road Wrestling. He didn't care. I don't even know how they even convinced him to, because I'm pretty sure he regrets it now because it was so terrible. But he wasn't even there. He wasn't even invested in the whole product, which is just baffling because he should have. I mean, it would have gone a lot smoother and he would have shut down when the server started being stupid. But anyways, I went in the server, I sat with the crew, and what Tio said back then really etched in my mind, and it's true now, that this is the last time you'll see like everybody circle. You'll see everybody as a group just standing together as one whole big pack without any side groups, without any side cliques. That was the last time you really saw a Skype crew that big be together without any side crews. And it's true, because after that it was just nothing. Everything separated, but that's besides the point. That's for another time and another podcast. But anyways, when that happened, the first, I think it was a pre-match. I don't know. My memory's kind of shady of what happened beforehand in the pre-show. I think it was a battle royal or something.
Yeah, for like 100
yeah,
Robux, I believe.
Yeah, for Robux, and that was terrible. That was a first strike in the whole event. That was garbage. It was absolutely terrible. Like, it was so laggy, and it wasn't laggy beforehand. But when he teleported all those people in like a dense ring, you can't teleport 100 people at one time. He should have did it by increments, by 25 people at a time. He didn't segment the people into there. It was laggy. I couldn't see myself. I was walking and nobody else was walking. I got thrown for some reason and I died. I was walking and then I just died. Like, RCC, he could have planned it better. He didn't plan for the event. Beforehand, he didn't even test out the like match capabilities or anything. He didn't even test out Brock's entrance, because Brock's entrance was good. It was great. But this man tripped. His throne toppled over. It broke.
Yeah.
I do not test that. That's besides. I mean, that's besides anything that he was saying. Oh, it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be the best pay-per-view ever. And the main thing was RCC. He barely did anything for SDR and JDR. They carried him, as RCC has always been carried throughout RW history. He's always had somebody to help him out greatly. It was all the way back then in 2014 where in the live streams, it was Brent hosting the live streams for RW, not RCC. RCC's the laziest man alive, because while he is the owner of RW, and everybody calls him the owner, he wasn't really the owner because it was barely there. But anyways, at the pay-per-view, it was after that match. That was a disaster. Everybody was already roasting the pay-per-view. Everybody was roasting the Mania after that. It was like, well, why did you start off like this? And it was laggy afterwards because everybody was delayed. Everybody was teleporting. It was crazy. But you couldn't shut down. You couldn't do anything. You couldn't shut down because the moderator wasn't even online. He wasn't even online. And that's terrible. That's garbage. You shouldn't. That's no excuse. But anyways, as soon as that happened, and after the Battle Royale happened, it was the first match. I don't know the match card, so I'm not going to go in depth with the match card because that's not what we're talking about. But the matches, Voss, you were in one match, and you didn't win that match. It was Wolf, I believe. Did Wolf win?
Yeah, like the whole thing kind of felt rigged.
It was an underwhelming match. Some people may say the undercard was good. I didn't like the undercard because Brock was. Oh, you can talk. If you want.
You can go ahead. Go ahead.
Brock was fighting Streets. No, even though he was fighting Streets, but it was Tiny. He was supposed to fight Tiny, but like I don't know. Like, was he fighting?
No,
Streets?
he was fighting
RCC.
He was fighting RCC because Streets didn't even show up.
Yeah, so he was fighting Streets, and then RCC had to pose as Streets just to even get the match out. I mean, that's terrible. You should know where your stars are before the event. That's why it's so poorly planned. He poorly planned the whole thing. But after that, it was a couple matches after that, and then we had a huge match: RCC versus Cena. Now, RCC versus Cena, I don't only know why he would put that match in such a big part of the show. It was before the main event.
It was garbage.
I don't know. It was a bad match. I didn't like it. I didn't enjoy it. Cena should have won. He honestly should have won that. And I know he knows he should have won that because, I mean, he beat him at Winter Slam, but that didn't have any effect. That didn't have any effect at all. He should have beat him at RW Mania because if he beat him, then I probably wouldn't have spat in that man's face because he wouldn't have did that speech. He wouldn't have did all that shit. But keep in mind, this was the 28th. Before we go to the main event, this was the 28th. That was my anniversary. That was my 6 months, half a year with Alice. Now, I'm not with her anymore. That's a different story. But back then, I was with her, and that was my 6 months with her. It was special. It was supposed to be special. It was just like, it was crazy. But that happened. And then the event came, and the event was garbage. Like, that's a terrible way to spend your 6 months is with your girlfriend just chilling in an awful pay-per-view event. Like, it should have been good. And then that speech happened. Like, beforehand, the server had to get migrated to a 50-person server because the 100-player server, it wasn't doing anything. It wasn't holding the amount of people in that server. It was lagging. It was crazy. So we had to go be compacted into a 50-player server like a bunch of sardines in a can. And that that was terrible. It was absolutely garbage because then half of the superstars couldn't even watch the show. They couldn't even watch the show because everybody was compacted like sardines. It was so fucking stupid. It was, the planning was garbage, and it made me so pissed off. All that work, all that promo work, all that fighting for the match, and it ends up like that. That's a spit in my face, and I don't care. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if you say, "Oh, you were selfish." I don't care if I was selfish. Okay, that was terrible. That was terrible, and it was my anniversary. I don't care. It was my anniversary. It should have been spit better. He should have planned that out. He should have planned it out 500 times like I planned out Starcade 500 times. I was gone for 40 to 60 minutes during Starcade 2, and I still finished at 11-something. That is no excuse. And RCC should have been ashamed of himself. Okay, after we berated him for switching to the 50-player server, after I was like mocking, I was like, hey, it was going to be best pay-per-view ever, y'all, right, y'all? And it was all that, and Hub and I were just throwing shots at him. Richard was throwing shots. And then, like, it was Voss throwing shots and all that stuff. And then Alice got fed up with it. She was cussing out RCC, and then he kicked her. And I just had it like a thing with my head. I snapped. It was over there. Like, when you kick the girl I love, and you just straight kick her, and it's my 6 months, I can't even spend time with her at that point because she's pissed off. I'm pissed off. and that's not a good combination. So I'm already steamed. I'm already formulated. I told Hub on Skype. I told him on Skype that it's time. I don't care. I'm going out there and I'm walking out. I don't care what anybody thinks of me. I'm walking out. I don't care. So I went up in there, and after Alex got kicked, and after he made that speech downgrading TNX, dissing PWH, I was like, this man is gonna get a rude awakening because you don't talk about my best friend's Fed. You don't talk about my Fed that's been kicking your ass for months now. It was uncalled for. It was unprofessional. No Fed owner should do that. No Fed owner should fight in their Fed like that unless it has a meaning like Hub versus me. Hub versus I, we had a meaning going to Starrcade too. There was no, oh, just spur of the moment, oh, there you go. Like, his feud with Cena was garbage. It was hot garbage. It should never happen because it did not make sense. It did not make any sense at all. And, like, I don't support that feud. I didn't support that feud. I don't support it now. I didn't support it at Winter Slam. It wasn't the way to go. It wasn't the way to go. And Cena shouldn't have accepted the match. But anyways, as soon as the main event started rolling around, Hub had his entrance. It was good. It was a good entrance. But it wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough because he should have gotten a better interest in Brock, or just an equal interest in Brock. Brock had no titles. Hub was a no one contender to the RW Championship. He should have had an more amazing than ever entrance. Okay, he should have had the Skyline concept. They could script everything else, but they couldn't script the freaking Raptor, like Skyline Raptor interest that HBK had in the 90s. That's bullcrap. That's absolute bullcrap, and that's lazy. That is lazy on SDR's part, lazy on JDR's part. I don't care. That was lazy. And then when my interest came, I had Corey Graves' theme, and I didn't even ask for it. I didn't even ask for Corey Graves' theme. I asked for another thing. I was asked for Black by Seven Dust. I asked for a bunch of rats to come out and me rise up from the bottom like a king, because I was the king of RW at the time. I was RW champion. I was the king, and had those like rats worshiping me. And then as soon as I came out and then my regular theme hit, and then it'll be amazing entrance. But guess what? That didn't happen. RCC didn't respect me enough. SDR didn't respect me enough. And you can say SDR says he respects me all the time. Well, guess what? He didn't make that happen at RW Mania. He didn't make me speak at RW Mania. I have no respect for him for that. But anyways, that's besides the point. When the match actually happened, I went to the ring. Hub and I said, let's just try to play fight before I go up to RCC and spit in his face. So we played fight, and then we just stopped. We stopped. We had a little Hogan versus Rock stare down that happened at WrestleMania 18. We looked side to side, up and down, freaking diagonals. I don't care. We looked all them ways. Then we looked at RCC. RCC looked back at me. He didn't know what I was gonna do. And then I spat in his face. I said, your Fed is garbage. I walked out with Hub. And then he freaking berated me on the microphone. And everybody booed me. And even when I went out on RW Mania, I got booed. It was such a mixed reaction. But when anybody cheered me. And the day before, I had like a whole line of people wanting to greet me and all that. But no, when I came out then, they were booing me. Like the people, I showed up every show, and the people I showed up every show just to impress, just to make them like happy to see me and all that, happy to see me wrestle. I did so much for the fans, and then they just turned on me like that. They just booed me out the building. I was like one of the most hated man out there, and I don't understand. I went out there, and when I spit in his face and we were walking the ramp, he killed us both, and then he started parading, and then he said these golden words. He said, I'm going to run on PWH and TNX's time slots. After all that happened, after we were booed, he said that. And that was really setting it off. And then he kicked us from the server. Now, keep in mind, I was furious. I was absolutely furious. Hub and I was ready to go to war. And a lot of people was going to leave RWU. A lot of people was going to leave. If he did that, a lot of people personally told him that they were going to leave. I mean, I don't know how many times I got to say that they were going to leave, because they were going to leave in droves. They were going to leave. And Tony Chick Magnet, was going to leave. Brock was going to leave. All the big names were going to leave and go to TNX. Now, you got some people like Mario Tepic. Yeah, some people that was not going to do that. They were going to stay in RWU. And they were going to be kiss-ups, and they were trying to go for the RWU championship. Now, I was pissed off. I was on Skype. I was talking to Alice. I was saying how much I loved her. And I was saying, I'm angry. I'm freaking pissed. And she was compassionate. She was compassionate about it. And I was over there. I was just cursing. I was all that crap. And then SDR called me. SDR called me. I cursed his ass out too. I said, RCC has no right doing that. And I'm going to bury RWU, and I'm going to take ownership of it, and I'm going to make it into a shitty-ass fed. Shittier than it already was. I was going to do so much stuff. And then Wolf came into the clutch. He said, hey, I got the arena. I got the RWU arena, and I can give it to you. And he gave it to me. He gave me the arena, and I knew what I had to do. This was the morning after. I knew what I had to do. I had to get the arena, and then the season 4 opener, TNX, the first show of season 4, I had a promo in the ring, and I shouted on RCC. I said, I'm going to release your arena, and I'm going to ruin RWU. And at that time, I made the RWU arena model active. It was active, and it has like more than like, it has tons of takes now. It has plenty of takes. And it was crazy. It was crazy. It was surreal at the time because, like, everything happened. Like, people turned on me. And then people turned on RCC. Then people turned on RW. People called me and Hub and I childish and follower. It was one indie watching. I don't know what it was, but they called us follower and childish. A lot of things happened after RW Mania. But, yeah, you can talk.
Well, I mean, I was going to go ahead and say, like, because, you know, for me, kind of going with the back of my friends and not staying in RW, you know, I got branded as, you know, an ass kisser. Yeah, they still brand me that. They're like, I'm an ass kisser, I'm a dick sucker, I'm a dick rider. And, you know, I'm just like, well, if your friends got disrespected the whole time while they were in a fed that we all went to, like, together. And yeah, it was the last time that we ever saw the Skype crew together. Like, after that, it was done. We were done. The anti-nexus was created. The and, you know, anti whatever you guys called yourself was created. And people didn't get that this changed everything. Like, this was it. This was like the crumble of, I'm going to use a Star Wars reference real quick, guys. This was like the crumble of the Republic into the Galactic Empire. This was it. This is what made it. Was the make or break moment for Pro Wrestling. And it was like literally everyone wanted to take a side, but people didn't want to know the facts about it. That's why I said one day I would, in fact, interview Sonic and Hub. I'd tell them, I'd have them come in a call, and we would interview them. So we could get you guys to know what really happened that day. So you guys wouldn't keep listening to that fucking backstabbing piece of shit RCC.
Yeah, it was the scope of the event. It was crazy because after that happened, when Hub and I walked out, now some of the people in the chat, they still were going to be in RWU. Even after they saw that I was being mistreated at the hands of RCC, I was mistreated for months, and they saw that, they visibly saw that, but they did not speak up. No, they didn't speak up at all.
They didn't. They were just like, man, it's just a time. Man, I just want to win another title, man.
They didn't speak up at all.
Exactly what they said.
They didn't want to speak up at all. They wanted to win another title. They said, "Oh, I'll go to one more show." But then it came to one more show, and then one more show, and then one more show, and then one more fucking show. It was, they just kept going, and I don't know what words to explain that. They just kept on going to RWU. They kept on going to RWU, and
I'm back.
It was just crazy because I thought we were a group. I thought we were a brotherhood. And when we walked out of RW Mania, I thought for sure that our friends would try to follow us, and I thought our friends would try to lead with us and get out of RW. So RW can die. It will be a lot better if it was dead at that time, because Pro Wrestling would have been a lot better. A lot of indies fans, you could have seen RCW could have rose sooner if it had been for RWU. BCW could have had traction again. That it's been in a slump for a while now. It could have been good had it been for them leading with us and them walking out with us and RW dying. That could have happened. But no, people got to be hard-headed. People got to be greedy for titles. And that's what happened. They remained in RWU, and when one thing go to another, the Skype crew kind of died.
It split. It became
like they had an anti-nexus because they thought I was a dictator of some sort, and they thought I was corrupting Pro Wrestling. They had anti-nexus because they thought they were being jumped on. They thought they were being jumped on, even though ironically they had more people than us. But of course, that's not the deal now. I'm on good terms with them. Maybe not as good terms as it was previously prior to RW Mania, but we're on good terms now. But back then, they really did hate me. They really did dislike me. They liked Hub, but they didn't like me. And for a lot of months, I was rated on Mask FM saying, "Why don't you fight RCC? You're a pussy. You're a pussy. You're a bitch for walking out of RW Mania.
You're a dick sucker."
Yeah, and I was hated for a lot of months in Pro Wrestling. I was just a natural heel. I was booed when I came out for my entrance. I was booed a lot of places, and a lot of people were like, "Screw you, Sonic. You walked out of RW Mania. You're a little pussy. You won't fight RCC." And this is what, like, when the RCC fights started happening, like, "You should fight RCC. You should fight RCC." And then RCC jumped on the bandwagon saying, "Oh, I should fight him. Why don't you go fight me?" And, like, he kept berating me. He just kept berating me and berating me. And, like, I didn't fight that ego fight. Not then, because I need to help build up TNX. And TNX was going through issues at the time. PG leaked the group, and I had to scramble back. I had to get my members back, get that Fed Trust back, and I had to do Starcade. I couldn't focus myself with that. I had to do other things. I had a lot of personal relationship issues I had to go through. I had a lot of things towards that second half of 2015. It was a terrible second half. It was absolutely garbage. Anti-Nexus helped ruin that. RCC helped ruin that. RW helped ruin that. Even the fans helped ruin that, because a lot of people were against me and not that many people were with me. After I tried to save Pro Wrestling, I tried to save it again. I saved it in the past when OPW and WRW died with TNX. I tried to save it again. I tried to topple RCC off. Hopefully by walking out, I set an example that he's corrupt and the truth about him. But guess what? The sheep still followed the lead sheep. They still followed the lead.
You mean the sheep herder?
Lead nigga. Yeah, the sheep herder. They followed the sheep herder. And it's crazy. It's really crazy, because I was going through a lot at that time. And, people didn't understand. People just saw me as a federal, and they saw me as a dictator. They didn't understand what I was going through. I was going through a lot of shit at the time. And the shit that Anti-Nexus caused didn't help any matters. The shit that RCC caused didn't help any matters. Now, I'm speaking about Anti-Nexus because they really did support RW a lot. Because RW was against me, and anything that's against me is a win-win for them. 2 thumbs up for them. They allied with RW a lot, and